Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, Canada. It is 8:41 on this Wednesday. Welcome back to BT. Sid Xero here with you. On this Pink Shirt Day, National Pink Shirt Day, we're reminded of the critical importance of standing up against bullying in all forms. As technology evolves, so do the methods and consequences of online harassment. There's too much of it. Joining us now is tech expert, friend of the show, Lisa Chang, to shed some light on the current state of cyberbullying and steps we can take to protect ourselves and the ones we love. Lisa, great to see you.
Great to be here on such an important day and an important conversation that we are going to get to. I know we're going to scratch the surface today.
For sure.
But I am confident that this is part one of what will be an ongoing conversation, especially with the new bill that is coming out.
Yeah, Bill C-63, it was tabled this week by the federal government. There's a lot that's handled in this online safety bill, for sure. Bullying is very much a part of that.
Yeah.
Let's go broad here to start, Lisa. Would you say this is a very new era in terms of bullying?
It's new-ish. I mean, in terms of how much we're using technology, bullying has definitely come off of the playground and is now in our everyday lives. And, you know, that's across the board, across all ages. You and I can sit here, Sid, and we can both say that if we personally haven't been bullied, we have witnessed someone being bullied online. I think that goes for the mass majority. But where it gets really interesting is when you start digging into the stats, which I have done very closely on how cyberbullying particularly is affecting our youth. This is a very hard form of bullying to control, more than it's ever been. Why? Because the bullies are hiding behind a screen. They're able to do it without any consequences.
Easy to do. Yep.
It's happening to the victim 24/7. There's no real way to stop it. And so when you're looking at mental health professionals that are specifically dealing with youth, people like the ones that are working with Kids Help Phone, they're seeing an enormous increase in kids that are calling specifically to talk about how social media and bullying particularly is affecting their mental health. So that's something that we really got to get ahead of.
For sure. Now there are, she mentioned this quickly before we came up, people may be getting bullied and they can't even kind of label it properly. There's a lot of types of bullying here. What do people need to be aware of in terms of what's happening to them?
Well, bullying happens in all forms. Something that we may have been familiar with back in our day are things like harassment, stalking, but there's other kinds of definitions of cyberbullying that exist. Maybe you've never heard of denigration. This is something where derogatory or false statements are made about you online. There's something called happy slapping. So this is something where, you know, a bully is taking a video of you maybe doing something embarrassing or without your knowledge and posting that online for the masses to see. You also have exclusion. Back in the day where it was like, no, you can't play with me. Guess what? That's happening online as well. And then you have more very serious things such as impersonation. Hacking is a form of cyberbullying. We know many people on social media that have been hacked. This is a form of bullying. Then you have an indirect threat. So that's where threats of physical harm are posted on the victim. This is where you want to get police involved, and we'll get into that a bit more. And then, of course, you have outing and trickery. So this is where your bully could trick you into providing private information about you in order to hack you. So not only is this happening with our youth, this is also happening with our seniors.
No doubt. Generally, the effect on a person who's being cyberbullied is what? How would you define that?
It is long-term, Sid. I mean, I can say I was bullied in high school, and that is something that still sticks with me today, no matter how much therapy or how much I've worked through that. But when it's happening online, again, it plays with your mind, it plays with your emotions in a very different way. On a mental scale, you might be feeling upset, embarrassed, you could feel stupid, maybe even angry, and very reluctant to show up online. On a physical side, this is something that you want to look out for. You might be feeling tired, or on the opposite side, feeling a loss of sleep, a lack of energy across the board. You might be feeling stomach pains or even things like anxiety. So on a mental, emotional, and physical scale, the impact is enormous.
So for anyone watching this who is fairly certain or kind of certain they're being bullied right now, what should they do? And for parents watching this who are concerned it is happening to their kids,
yes.
They don't have proof of it yet, they have a strong feeling, what do they do?
Okay, so this is a big one. The solution is something that we really need to focus on, particularly when it comes to the victim itself. If you feel like you're being bullied, I want you to really think about what being digitally literate means. It's very hard to create boundaries online. What I'm going to say about that as it relates to digital literacy is if you feel like this is wrong, deep in your gut, if you don't feel right about this, don't question it. It's bullying. Don't make excuses for the bully. I think a lot of times with teens, we can think about, oh, let's just sweep it under the rug. It'll get better. If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right.
Your gut feeling
and it's
is
time
normally correct
to act.
on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't try and reason with your bully, okay? This is the time to cut access with the bully itself, get real familiar and become a real fan with your block feature. Now, you also want to share your feelings with someone you trust. And I think with teens, this can be a hard thing. Whether that's a parent, whether that's something like Kids Help Phone, you want to use the resources that are available to you.
Again, it's National Pink Shirt Day. It started here in Canada. It's where we all rally against bullying of any form. Cyberbullying, however, is going into places we haven't seen before. The literacy that's needed on that is important. We're learning more every day. Lisa Chang, the one and only. We appreciate you coming by today on an important day. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
More BT coming up right after this. Stick around.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by PetSmart. Find all your pet essentials, earn rewards, and shop your